Hi there, I'm Yeardley Smith, and I really hope you enjoyed the premiere episode of Guard the Yard, where I got to sit down with Arizona Cardinal Will Hernandez. Will Hernandez was actually my very first interview for Guard the Yard. Prior to that, it had been this big idea I'd actually had for many years about the way for me to get excited about sports is for me to learn about the people who play them. So we get this interview with Will Hernandez, and I have an even bigger idea. I'm not just going to do it on Zoom. I ask Will if we can come to his house in Arizona, just like bust through the door, bring the crew, which is small, but still, it's like a whole bunch of strangers just invading your space. And Will very graciously says yes. So we take over Will's living room. But I also really wanted this interview with Will to be like the best interview he'd ever had. So no pressure. And it's my first time. So I'm nervous, which I'm sort of nervous anyway. I run hot like that. And I have all my questions. I've done a lot of research on Will, so it doesn't feel like the same old, same old. And honestly, that guy could not have been more generous, kinder, more understanding. I did preface the interview with him saying, listen, I'm doing this podcast because I don't know anything about sports. So if I ask you stupid questions, it's not disrespectful. I literally don't know. So he's totally game. I actually remember, as nervous as I was, we walk into Will's house, and just in his alcove, just outside his living room, he has a life-size Batman like figure, but it's life-size. And you can tell it's the Ben Affleck Batman. And there was something about that made me feel like, okay, I'm going to be all right. This is going to be all right. So I say to Will, okay, here's the game. I have to fill in for you. You have about 90 seconds to describe to me what the job is before I go on the field and take over for you. What are you going to tell me? And he does the best things. He teaches me about cadence. So Will says, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw you a math problem, and I'm going to tell you that the cadence is 3. So when I say, hut, 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 and the third one, you're going to hit my hand, like give me a high five. But you're also going to do this math problem. I'm like, okay, I could do that. So the first one he gives me, I totally fuck it up. Now the whole team is mad at me. And they're like, get Will back on the field. The second time, I think he tells me the cadence is going to be hut, hut, hut. And on the third time, I hit his hand, and he gives me a math problem, and I get the answer wrong. I get the answer to the math problem wrong, but I do hit his hand on the third one. By the time we get to the third try, I realize I've answered the math problem incorrectly, but I think I still hit his hand in the right place. Anyway, the advice from the other players on the field would be, Yeardley, don't quit your day job. Will's job is safe. He doesn't have to worry about me. But here's a clip of that. I just will never not tire of this fantastic moment.
And so when we're out there, not only do we have to go ahead and protect and block the guy that's trying to get your quarterback,
Yeah.
you're going to have to also memorize a play and then memorize what we call a cadence. And a cadence, if you guys ever watched a football game, you hear the quarterback go, say, hit, hit, hit. You ever heard that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're also going to have to know when you can fire off and start protecting that quarterback based on that cadence. So that's exactly why we huddle up. So when we huddle up, you're going to have to hear for the cadence. So that way you know when it is that you're allowed to fire off the ball and start protecting. And then you're also going to have to know exactly what your job is based on the playbook, which you had to study beforehand.
Right.
So you're already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
And then the third.
So I'm fucked.
Yes.
Great. Okay, great.
He's going to have to figure it out on this one. And then the third thing is you're going to have to actually physically be able to do the job as well. And most of those guys that you're blocking are about 300 pounds. So you're going to have to like keep them back and give him enough time to be able to throw the ball.
Right.
And then the game that I like to play with this to simulate that is I'm going to ask you a math question, a multiplication question,
God.
right?
Okay.
And that's going to resemble the play that you're supposed to know.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put my hand out like this. And then to simulate the cadence, I'm going to tell you, okay, we're going to go on 1. So I'm going to say hit, hit. And then every time I say hit, that's 1.
Okay.
And then if I say hit twice, that means you're going to go on 2. Right? Because so when the quarterback says for example, if the quarterback says, all right, we're going to go on 1, that means as soon as you hear 1 hit,
Yes.
boom, you're gone.
So, and just to be clear, this cadence changes each play.
Yes.
And this is what you decide in the huddle.
In the huddle. And then so you
Okay.
have about 3 seconds from the moment you turn around, get down on the line
Yeah.
to like not only remember the play,
Yeah.
but also remember that cadence.
Okay.
Okay, so if I say on 1, it's going to be say hit,
Go.
and then you go.
Uh-huh.
If I say, okay, on 2, say hit,
Go.
then go.
Uh-huh.
Exactly, you got it.
Okay.
All right, so this is the exercise that I like to do with people. So as I'm going to tell you the cadence beforehand, I'm going to put my hand out like this.
Okay.
And then you're going to tell me the answer to the multiplication question that I'm asking you. And then as you're thinking of that answer, I'm going to be going through the cadence.
Through the cadence.
And you have to remember which one it's on. And then once you figure it out, boom, you hit my hand to simulate that you actually came off the ball and started blocking.
Okay, so once it's time for me to go off your cadence, I hit your hand.
Yes.
Okay.
But you make sure you don't hit my hand on the wrong one.
Right, because that would fuck everything up. It's a really good thing I have already another job, and my life does not depend on this. All right.
You want to try it real quick?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Remember, if you misfire, it's a 15-yard penalty, and then you cost the whole team, and we all
Right, and then
go backwards.
everybody's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So we're gonna go on 1 on this one. Okay, we're gonna go on 1. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. 2 times 4.
8.
Nope, I didn't say hit.
See, and that was 15 yards.
See, I told you.
Oh man.
It's all right. Let's try it again.
It's my
Let's try it
first
again.
day. Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go on 2 this time. All right. All right. 4 times 2. Hit.
8.
4 times 5.
10.
Hit. There you go. You got that one.
Okay.
That one. All right.
Phew.
Let's go one more.
Phew. Okay.
You got this one. 'Cause
Okay.
remember, we're doing about 65 plays, so you have to be able to do this over and over.
God. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go on 2. We're gonna go on 2. Say hit. 4 times 5.
20.
5 times 8. Say hit.
30.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Ah.
Pretty much it. That's
Okay.
pretty much it. So you just have to remember that cadence, and you have to be able to react at the proper time, not just whenever you just think.
Right.
It's right.
And there's so much adrenaline. There's so much at stake. Right. I can
Yeah.
imagine how easy it is. Now, when somebody goes too soon, is that what they call a false start?
Yes, exactly. That's a
Okay.
false start. So if you go before everybody else goes, you always see that one guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I had one a couple weeks ago that comes out before everybody. That's because he either forgot the cadence
Yep.
or just
Or you
wasn't
didn't
locked in.
figure out the math and
fucked it up.
fucked it up.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, well, now you have a backup. I'm here for you.
No, if anything, you're taking my spot.
The conversation continues, where I really want to know what makes Will tick. How do you do what you do and why do you do it? And I just, that series of questions will never get old for me. So Will was so gracious and kind and open and willing and like the best first guest. Even as I've gotten a little more comfortable, small c, lowercase c, comfortable doing these interviews, because I always want everyone to be the best that my guest has ever had. There was something about the sort of spontaneity and exploratory nature and Will's willingness that made me feel like it was the first interview I did and we should air it first because there's a little bit of magic there. And my other favorite answer that he gave is, of course, in every podcast, I feel like you have to have a rapid fire lightning round at the end. I asked Will, because he has a taco truck, I said, what's your favorite taco topping? And he said lettuce. And I was like, lettuce? Okay. Is that some sort of secret that you know that I don't know? Not that I don't like lettuce on my taco. I just thought maybe in the heat of the moment he misunderstood my question. I don't know. But Will Hernandez is a keeper, the loveliest guy, and a great way to kick off this new venture.